So you guys
different, yeah.
are against the glowfish.
Well,
What
no,
about-
I wouldn't say we're against it. It's
yeah.
just we have a different
No, it's
angle.
and,
They're not
it's not
popular.
allowed in
They're
Europe.
not-
It's not
okay.
allowed in Europe. In Europe, it's
Yeah,
banned.
that's the law. But if it comes to like or not, I am not in favor of them. But I try to keep. I mean, especially if I come here to the U.S., I will not talk too much against
Right,
it because I don't know. Maybe they
Different
want to sue
culture,
me
yeah.
or whatever, and I don't want that. But me personally, I like nature. This is where I like fish that are maybe not that colorful or whatever, but I really like the natural stuff. Even I'm not in favor of goldfish or
You saw the glow frogs
there's glow
I didn't
frogs.
see
Yeah.
that. Were they here?
from China.
Oh,
in
yeah,
China.
yeah.
Yeah, it is,
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, the blue and the same colors as the frogs with the frogs.
No, I mean that's not my type.
They got really colorful frogs without having to color. 'em,
Exactly.
You know?
Well, my thing is like, who's really attracted to, let's say, a blue or a pink frog? Probably, but the majority of that clientele is younger. But I'm pretty sure they'll be thrilled to have any clawed frog because it's amazing in itself.
But I think that they're not the real hobbies because the people that the real ones they are interested in nature and about the animal itself. And
I think they're just
the ones
newer
that
to the hobby.
what's that?
I think they're just newer to the hobby. Because I've seen a lot of people in my store where they've got glowfish and all that going on, and then they, like, let's say they go to a chain store and the glowfish are the brightest thing and the best looking thing in the store, and then they go to an independent store and they go, I didn't know all these fish even existed, you know, and so they'll naturally progress into keeping more natural stuff just because that looks awesome. Look at that, you know, loach, it's burrowing down, like they're just seeing things for the first time ever. So there will be people that will always keep that, but I think in general, people get into aquariums, big bright colored fish, looks really cool. That's what brings everyone in
But
initially.
for example, Corey, if you have a person that shows a tank in Facebook and they have Malavis mixed with Botia, you know, or with Asian fish, and everything is a mix, a colorful mix, will the people complain to the guy and say, hey, what you're doing is not correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Will that
I
happen?
guarantee
Yes,
it.
because
It'll
in
be a
Germany,
story.
they will,
Yeah.
you will have a
Oh yeah. That-
outrage.
Oh,
The
yeah.
people will freak out, and probably the guy will be so
We could just
intimidated
we
that
could,
he will never
That's how
show.
we could start your YouTube channel.
Also, when I go to the US to the different chain stores here, I make tests. You know, I go and ask the people about names, about do you know where that fish come from, and in my view, it's like that the stores here, the knowledge of the people that sell fish is not that high. Versus in Germany, if you go to Zoo or one of the big chains, the people are very well trained. They know about stuff. I mean, especially when we started, we started together in the same shop like 30 years ago. I don't remember, 25 or
You're
something.
old.
We're old, yeah. You too, don't worry. So we really knew what we are selling, and it was very specialized, and we had people with a lot of knowledge about the fish they're selling, you know. So what do you think about that? Is that an issue here in the US, or?
That's a huge issue.
I mean, you have a shop.
well,
and
that's
you have
why.
a shop.
That's why one of those
So
things.
that's why we have two people here
Yeah.
with a shop. And how you train your people? They know what to do. How about you? How is the?
I limited what we offer, which is basically plants, community fish, shrimp, and goldfish, so that we can train them up in those instead of offering every type of fish. And then I wanted to be the store that was never like, well, the saltwater person's not working today or anything like that. So we can narrowly focus on one aspect of the hobby and do that really well, because our competitors, the chain stores, the fish person, half the time they're going, well, I'm actually in charge of the rodents. I'm just filling in, I'm catching fish today. You know, and I think where you might have more expertise working on the general floor level is because if they start killing all those fish, they can get shut down. That can't happen here. So we kind of are in a vicious cycle of hiring, like the chain stores are hiring 17-year-olds, and they kind of burn through them every 6 months, you know, because no one really enjoys having things die and having customers angry that their stuff's dying. Like, it's a real hard job, and they're not being paid that much. I don't know if, like, in Germany it's being, you know, a good paying job to work there.
We have here Karsten. He can tell you about that.
Pay a lot.
You pay a lot.
We pay a lot,
So
too.
if you're interested
So
in
it's
working in
about-
the fish business,
It's
come
about
over to
2-3
Karsten's shop.
euros an hour, right?
Yeah,
Right?
that's quite high.
Yeah.
I
So,
think
and
our,
But what is your experience with that? I mean, we have here to shop owners. You can.
I am lucky because we have professionals to hire. So we have a shrimp breeder. We hire a shrimp breeder. I do not train him because
You don't have to train
yeah,
because he knows what
I
he's
don't-
doing, right?
You're right. And we have Annika for aquascaping.
Yeah,
she's professional.
yes,
she won some prizes for aquascaping. So we do not have so many employees.
did you have to seek them out, or did they like come and ask to get a job with you?
Well, we come together on exhibitions, and so
So you hire the people in the places
Yeah.
where they celebrate the hobby. So they're not new people like students. They just
No,
want to
we
make
do- we don't
like a vacation job or something.
Right.
we don't have much of them. Yeah. So
Well, that's one of the big issues. Like I was talking about earlier, is that the corporations sort of stand in the way of that. Like if you are somebody who's like a professional aquascaper, there's not just a job you go get. You know what I mean? Like you don't just go, okay, I'm going to go work for like a store like yours. They just don't exist.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is that like somebody that wants to be a professional like that, they just end up going to college and becoming a biologist, right, or something along those lines. And it's like, well, now I'm a marine biologist and I go out in my boat in the sea. And then they're not necessarily doing that. They're just working for a company. And then the bigger corporations that stand in the way of the mom and pop stores that would likely, like Corey's place, he brings people up at a good wage, right? And gives them an opportunity that like you could keep working here. You don't have to go somewhere else. And you look at like you mentioned Walmart earlier, right? And this isn't a dig at them necessarily, but they pay people minimum wage. Who are you going to get? You pay
Yes.
people $4 an hour or $7 an hour.
Yeah, that's true.
That
What
you're not
you will
going to
for
get.
that?
That marine biologist isn't going to come like, oh, I went and got my degree. Now I'd like to go work with the fish and the people and teach them
That's
the
the
stuff
wrong
that I
attitude
know.
because
So-
if the people are not motivated, how you want to make money? You make money
Right.
because the people are motivated and not the other way around. I mean,
Right.
this is a very
and it's
old.
like you know, if you go look like one of the biggest avenues for like making a decent wage in the aquarium hobby would be like doing tank maintenance. You know, you go to dentist's office, doctor's office, hospitals, you know, all that kind of stuff. And you know, a doctor's not going to maintain his own tank. He's busy taking care of people, but he wants to have something out in the lobby that's really nice.
This is how you make a lot of money, Oli. Is that true?
Not too much.
Not too much.
No, but this is a completely different word. You know, aquarium maintenance is it's a business. Yeah, it's a kind of business in USA, but not in Europe. It's not in global Europe. It's not existing.
So there's not a lot of people that do maintenance?
No, if you
There's probably
count.
50 people in our state alone that do it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no country like in the US. So
We're extra lazy. So
there are so many companies existing who maintain aquarium.
Yeah.
but not in Europe.
there's a lot of competition going on.
If
I
you're
think
searching companies,
I know two people that do it. You and
yeah,
another guy.
Yeah,
that-
but you know, I'm talking about companies. They employ.
no,
10.
not a company,
That-
but you're on your own.
Yeah,
You
no,
do
no,
it.
Yes, yes.
You
and
do it
that's-
alone.
That's the reason. You know, it's a USA is a service country. They make pond service, cleaning your
That's true.
windows,
Yeah.
and they clean your tank. It's normal, and they're getting a normal price. That's a problem. We don't have an industry for maintenance aquarium.
So the hobbyists do it, and the doctors. Who does the? For example, if you go to a dentist and has an aquarium, he does it himself.
We don't have so much. That's a problem. They have hundreds and thousands of
Almost every
tanks.
hospital, dentist, all that stuff would have.
But then you
tanks.
should
Yeah.
think
don't
about
have
that.
tanks.
The hobby should be very well developed. But
They're the fish keeping. I think the fish keeping is really strong in USA.
Right.
And we have a big knowledge. We have history. But overall, I don't know how many aquarium existing in the US, but I think that's a lot.
do you have any number?
Like so. Sort of what I was explaining is that so like the maintenance business.
Yeah.
But if you go look at a maintenance tank that is in a hospital or something like that, you have to set it up so that essentially no one touches it for like 3 weeks. You know, so if
Yeah.
you have a saltwater tank, it's going to be 180 gallon tank. It's got 2 tangs in it. It's got 2 clownfish. It doesn't have any coral, right? And it's just
It's got an
sitting
auto
there.
feeder on it,
It's just sitting
yeah.
there and it's just running, right? You know, if you have corals, you have to worry about imbalances like where's the magnesium, where's the calcium, where's that? You know, so oftentimes those are the tanks that are around because no one is actively touching that tank on a daily basis. So you couldn't really, if you put a ton of plants in there and then it grows over 3 weeks or a month and no one comes to trim it, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
The scape's totally screwed up. You'll start getting algae problems because the plants are too close to the lights now and stuff like that. So if you go look at those maintenance tanks, they're as simple as possible. So oftentimes what I've seen that people that are getting into the hobby in America is that they think of all the tanks that they've seen over the years, like in the lobbies of places that they go to, and they're super simple. It's a couple rocks and then the fish swimming around,
Maybe
and they
that's
sort
the
of just
reason
pick the
you
fish
don't
that
see
they
so
want.
much live plants, because these tanks are running with artificial plants,
Right.
Yeah.
some fish inside, and that's all.
I would say I would be shocked. Like I'm shocked if I'm like, whoa, there's live plants in this tank, like at a doctor's office or a restaurant or something like that. Like I'm shocked 'cause it's so rare. Like it's
Like,
always
if I see one
plastic.
in a restaurant and I see we were in Germany and we saw
Yeah.
this huge reef tank, and I was like, I really want to ask about it, but then I realized oh wait, we're in Germany, so
Yeah.
it's probably just somebody,
But I
the
think-
owner or whoever is taking
I
care of
think
it.
That's the reason we don't have it, this industry in Germany or Europe, because we make it too complicated, and we make it not. You can't copy it.
Right.
You have to. You need to set up a planted tank, something else. I know it. And if you work on a planted tank every 2 weeks, or you work every 4 weeks on an artificial tank, it's different. The costs is
Right, the cost is-
50%.
Yep.
And the customer pay, okay, I don't want to pay more than $150 per month, or 300, 400. So
Right,
Yep.
there's a big business waiting in Germany for maintenance, but then not with live plants and not with coral plants, just with fish tanks. I can say one thing.
Yeah.
So if we have the same tradition like the Chinese have, they have 25% of the households have an aquarium.
I didn't know that fact.
25. You know, this is a huge for 1.5,
1.4 billion
because
people.
they having this tradition that if you keeping a fish at the house, you get money back every year.
Yeah, it's good luck.
And
It's
it's
good
in I think it's 2,400 years old.
I'm just saying I can't wait till China's allowed on the regular
On
internet.
YouTube and everything, yeah. They're
Yeah.
gonna join us.
If they come to
They don't
Facebook-
speak English.
No.
You know that you have been to China,
I've been, yeah.
and it's if you go on the countryside, they
Even
will
people
nobody.
that speak English can't understand my videos, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but maybe we have to tell the people this. It's a good pusher for us for the fish hobby.
Yeah.
Tell them that money comes back, so we have to promote that.
Yes,
only.
yes, yeah.
Money will come to you, and then we will have a
And
lot of more people in the
There
hobby.
was at the CIPS 2 years ago. There was a speech of a member of the government, and it's I don't know, something from Beijing,
Yeah.
and they stand in front of the audience and said, "I want that every household have an aquarium at home."
Wow.
Really?
So what's our out here? What's our
25%.
25%.
Yeah, we have to get 25%
Of what?
aquarium. So people just
25%
buy
of the
aquarium.
house, yeah.
In Germany, we have about 2 million people having an
How much
aquarium actually,
percentage
but
is it?
it's like kind of stable. And for the US, you don't have any numbers like.
Yeah, 160 million. I'm just guessing.
Throw a number out there. What do you have? 2 million? I think it's like 2 billion we have.
Yeah.
2 billion.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we have one thing together, I think, maybe more than one, but we love pizza, right?
That's right.
Okay,
Pizza and
so
fish.
Pizza is here. Thanks everybody for watching. Team America against Team Germany.
In
We
the
found
comments below, who won?
who won exactly.
Yes,
But
let us
the
know.
Germans always win, right? In soccer.
In soccer, sure. You can have that.
Yeah, tomorrow. we
Badminton, maybe.
So
Yeah.
thanks everyone for watching. We see you
Links
on
down
YouTube,
below to everyone's channels, all that kind
Facebook,
of stuff. cool
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
all the things.
You will find
down
us.
below.
See you.
bye-bye.
Pizza.